Hello, 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 hello. And a very big welcome to another amazing episode of the Friday Night Hangout. I'm excited to have you here. And as usual, I want to know how your day has been. It's a Friday. I'm always excited when it's Friday. And if this is your first time of joining us, welcome to our Friday night show. My name is Joy Onyesoh, and I'm your host for the Friday Night Hangout. This is that safe space where we have conversations on topical issues that can help you build your personal brand or your business brand. I can also help you on your professional journey. This is also that space where we just come to wind. It's a Friday after all. We get to and tonight we have a very exciting, inspiring guest in the studio, and I'm excited to bring her on. The conversation continues, right? We've had the conversation we talked about, and so join me in welcoming my dear sister Ezinne. Ezinne, welcome.
Thank you very much. Good evening. Good evening, Prof. Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for having me again on the Friday Hangout. I'm excited to be here today.
That I told you, come in tonight. We're going to have Mrs. Ezinne do justice to this conversation. And so we're going to go right in and sometimes called a journey.
Okay, thank you for the question. It's coming in and out, but I hope that everyone can hear me. Like we all know, and like I said the last time, self-actualization is actually being able to attain one's fullest potential. You're being able to grow to your fullest potential, and finding fulfillment in the things that you're doing. Sometimes it's called becoming, because becoming is actually the process of growth. It is when you grow that you can become, and then you can think of actualization. So when you say, why does self-actualization sometimes, what does it involve, and why is it sometimes called a journey of becoming? It is because you're growing and you're going somewhere. You're not at that destination, you're actually traveling to that destination. So you're becoming. The process of traveling is called becoming. You're transforming, you're growing, and then until you arrive at that point where you're operating in what I call your Zen, where you are just doing what you're supposed to do exponentially with ease and having very impactful results. Yes, so that's why sometimes it is called a journey of becoming.
Oh, thank you so much. I got a number of nuggets from there. You talked about personal growth. You also talked about being intrinsically motivated. You also talked about finding purpose because it's a journey. It's really a journey. You know, you can't just wake up and say, "Ha, I'm there. I found my purpose." No, it's a journey. You keep tweaking it. Sometimes you will fall. Sometimes you will question yourself. Sometimes you will even doubt, why am I on this journey at all? Is this the right thing for me to do? Am I in the right place? Don't worry, it's all part of it. just keep going, learning the lessons, working, collaborating. So you get to that point where you know, ah, express myself, yeah, about yourself. And there's one about yourself. It takes someone who's on a in a very positive, knowing language. So thank you so much.
Can you hear me? I didn't hear all of what you said last. Oh no. Okay, Joy.
Yes, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I can hear you now. Please, could you repeat your question very quickly? I can hear you now. Thank you.
Okay, what are some of the key insights we need to take competence of becoming the best version of ourselves?
Oh, okay, thank you very much for that question. That's very, very key. So, first of all, like I explained before, becoming an actualization, self-actualization is actually a journey. And so, before you set out on this journey, it's important that you know yourself. It's important to do what is called self-introspection. You do SWOT analysis. You try to understand yourself. Who are you? How can you travel? What are your strengths? What are the opportunities? What are the threats? So because if you don't know yourself and you set out and you say you're going on a journey of becoming and self-actualization, it's a marathon. So you might not prepare for a marathon if you do not know yourself. And so you tire out and burn out on the road. So for me, one of the first key things that you do is to become self-aware of who you are, what you want, why you want it, what you're willing to pay to get it. How far are you willing to go? What sacrifices are you ready to make? What will you travel with and what will you not travel with? So you need to do all of this and become aware of yourself, because you have to launch from a point or place of strength. And then you have to realize that it's a marathon. So you start to run and then you keep running. The second key point is that you must decide by yourself that you have become a continuous lifelong learner. Because on this marathon, there's so many things you're going to learn, there's so many you're going to unlearn, there's so many that you're going to relearn. Because the truth is, what you're looking for is to find the best of you. It's somewhere there on the inside. But you see, you've already come out. Yes, it's true that we come tabula rasa, but then we come out and we become conditioned from day one. So societal conditioning from school, conditioning from family, conditioning from everywhere, culture, everything just helps to condition you. And then you find that when you're now running this race, it's a personal race. You're running to find the best of yourself that is already on inside of you, that you already came factory fitted. So you need to now say to yourself, I must continually learn from people who have run before me, from people who are running alongside me. I must continually learn. Make yourself a lifelong learner so that you find ways to run faster, do what you need to do and not get stuck on the road. My point number 3 will be, of course, when you're becoming self-aware, it means that you're also defining your purposes and your values so that you do not pick up what is not your own. You see, many people are running races that are not their own. Many people are running and they run for a long time, but they've not realized that they're on another person's tangent because they're running on another person's values and another person's purpose. So you need to be sure that what you're running for are the values you believe. And so I always say to people at this point in time, probe your why and probe what you believe. And then ask yourself, why do you believe this thing? And then ask yourself, has it served you all this time that you believed it? And if your answer is no, it's not served you, then the next thing is to say to yourself, how can I change it? And find a belief that I can believe in and then that will work for me. Then, of course, I'll close by saying there's several others, but let me close by saying that you need to take care of yourself. Self-care, healthy habits, because if there is no you, there is no becoming, and there is no actualization, no self-realization, no self-actualization. So you must take care of you. It is you that will do the race. It is you that will think of the idea. It is you that will birth the idea. It is you that will do the actualization and becoming. And if you're not healthy, I say it all the time, the true wealth is health. If you're not healthy, you can't become, you can't do any of these things. So I think these 4 points that I've said, it's we should ponder on it, and then if we work on it, then we would have started our journey to becoming. Thank you.
Along with not with the direction with it's not it's really hindering me, it's not taking me. It could be any kind of relationship, work relationship, personal relationship. What advice would you give? And I think we are all, human beings that we have.
Thank you. What I heard was it could be any kind of relationship. It could be work relationship. What advice can you give? Could you fill me in on the first part of the question? In terms of what? I can't hear you. No, I can't hear you at all.
Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Hello? Okay.
I can hear you now.
So, in terms of who and what to take along on the journey of becoming, how do we make that decision?
Oh, yes. Okay. So, in terms of who and what to take along on your journey, this is where goal setting comes to play. You need to set goals and have objectives of what it is that you're going after, and then so you begin to look for like-minded people. I'll give you an example. If what you want to do is to plant a farm of ugu leaf and water leaf, then you you don't need to travel with someone who wants to plant cocoa, because the person who is planting cocoa is on a long-term journey and needs more resilience than you, whose makeup is plant ugu that will grow in the next 1 month and you cut it and you eat it. So you need to set your goals. What is it that you want out of life? You may not immediately know what you want, but you should be able to say what you do not want. And if you're sure of what it is you do not want, then you begin to eliminate. It is important. It's generally widely believed that your relationships make or mar you, whether they are love relationships or social, any kind of relationship at all that you get into can either make or mar you. And I keep saying to people that, for instance, a spouse is a gift that you give to yourself, because I want to believe that you, except in cases where you were forced to marry someone, you chose this person by yourself. So you need to open your eyes and make sure that you're choosing somebody who can help push you further along on your journey to becoming. And the same thing goes with the friends that you keep. If you say you want to become, you want to actually self-realize and self-actualize and become the best of you, and then you perpetually make friends and hang out with people who are going nowhere fast. Guess what? If there are 5 of you hanging out and 5 of you are going nowhere fast, you're number 6. You're going nowhere fast. It is a gift to yourself to find people who have gone ahead of you on this trajectory that you want to go on, and then get them in your camp, either as your mentors, either as your friends, either as your teachers, but get them in your camp and on your side, because you don't have to. I know that when we're growing up, they told us that experience is always the best teacher, but you see, you don't have to wait to experience everything. Professor Joy has experienced some things, so I can pet on her shoulder and see even further than she has come. It's allowed. It's called perching on the shoulders of giants. I know sometimes we're really like scared to go up to people who have done great on the lines or the courses we want to follow. We are not very how will I say it? We do not want to go because we think they have airs and all that and all that. They may not listen to us and everything. But if you're a person of value and you have value that you can bring to a relationship, you will get what you want because you will ask and the person will say okay. But when you ask for mentorship or directorship or even for sponsorship, because there's a thing like that where someone sponsors you to enter a room that you otherwise would not have been able to enter. When such is done for you, when the ladder is sent down for you, you must ensure that you do not waste the person's time nor abuse the opportunity that you have been given. So what am I saying? Don't travel with baggage. You must master your emotions. In this journey called life, the emotional person doesn't go very far because life is never fair. It doesn't deal us what we deserve. It's a taker's market, man. This life is a taker's market. So you must be ready to take what you want out of life. So if you're emotional and you're carrying emotional baggages, oh, they didn't do for me, oh, they did for me, and they said, and you are not going to go. We have to drop all those baggages on our way to becoming. You see, I'm looking for an example to give because becoming is like peeling off layers of you. So you remove all those things that slow you down. You have to deal with your mindset. So you make sure the only way to deal with your mindset is what? My Bible tells me that faith comes through hearing and hearing the word of God. So it means that you have to surround yourself or put yourself in places, environments that nurture your mind, that nurture your creativity. You will deliberately carry yourself and go put in places where conversations that give you hope, that build faith in you are hard, are being talked about, and then you stay there and you soak it in. The whole job is actually yours. You're the one that has a hunger on the inside. And so whatever hinders you from going to where you want to go to, you will have to drop it so you can travel like and travel at the speed of light. Yeah. So I would say be choose the books you read. Make sure the books you read are edifying books that will ginger you, that will make you ask, do they have two heads? The people who are doing this thing, or is it only this one head I have two that they have? And then if you're that sparked up, then you do what? You now see there's a spark inside of you. You just need to light it up. And so you read the right books, you go to the right conferences, you do the networking, you get the right friends. These are things that you will have to do what? Get to travel with. And the things that you are not going to travel with is emotional baggage, you're not going to carry it. And then if you have any traumas, you actually invest in dealing with your traumas. So that you're not that person who says, I want to do this, and then you're the same person stopping yourself. I think this will be my submissions at this point in time. Thank you very much.
And then fits you and at conferences, Ezinne mentioned the importance of being at the right place. We have an upcoming conference called the She Speaks Summit. And that's a program that happens every June. Is an empowerment program. And we have an exciting team which is creating legacies. So it's a point where you're asking yourself, how can you use resources to impact the world? And what kind of value pass on to the next generations? How can you become the best version of yourself? How can you even get clarity as to what to do next? Then you need to be at the Big Summit 2024. And it's happening on the 28th and 29th of June, 9 a.m. daily. And of course, you can either register as a VIP or as a premium participant. And if you decide to register as a VIP participant, you have also an added benefit of coming in on the 27th for an executive coaching class. Wow! This is super exciting. And this would be our 7th edition of the She Speaks Summit. It's always a time of networking, collaboration, learning, unlearning, and you get to also walk away with your blueprint of what you want to do for the rest of your. So if you want to register or want to have more information about this conference, just drop your name on the comment section, or you can call the number at the comment section to get more info. There's also a link that will be dropped in the comment section. Info. And I know my Ezinne has an interesting book. Ezinne, more about the book.
Oh, thank you very much. Yes, our third book is out, and the book is called Recalibration Blueprint, Stepping into Your Best Self. Recalibration Blueprint, Stepping into Your Best Self. Why did I write this book? One of the most profound sayings I heard in my life is, we are a flowing river. We are meant to flow. We are not supposed to be stagnant. And so when you're flowing and you come against an obstacle, which we currently normally would say is an adversity or a challenge or something, what normally happens is we freeze, or we just give up, or we're just beating ourselves against that obstacle, the boulder, the stone, whatever. Sometimes it takes us a lot of time, and then we are frustrated, and then we burn out and everything. But there's an easier way. It's called recalibration. So you simply do what? Recalibrate, and then you flow around the challenge, and then you keep going. So recalibration is that process that allows you look at your stock, which happens to all of us periodically in life. So you're stuck, but then you now say to yourself, I am simply stuck because there is something I do not have yet that can solve this problem. that is facing me or that I'm facing. And so you go and get the ability, the capability, that you require, and then you find that you can solve that challenge and you move on. Recalibration is not magic. It is a principle, it's a process, it's something you do all the time. You get stuck, you do it again, you get stuck, you do it again, and it keeps unveiling and revealing your better, and your best self. And then it now gets to the point where it looks like you are not challenged at all because you have grown muscles in every area of your life. And so when the challenges come, you just do it. And everybody says, oh, she deals with it so nicely. No, you've built muscles. You have been recalibrating yourself. I tell you what, the first time they sent um, whatever to the moon, yes, they missed the calculation by just inches and it took them way off. And that's what happens when you do not recalibrate yourself. You find yourself, you go very many miles off tangent, and then you need to recalibrate again. Or it's something that they have been doing, the engineers and everything for instruments, but now I'm saying you can recalibrate your own life. And so that's basically why I wrote that book. It's a 12-chapter book, and each chapter deals with a different aspect of our lives and our relationships with our spouses, our co-workers, and stuff like that. Because these are the challenges that we all face, on a day-to-day basis. And also because in the last 4 years, I've had to recalibrate a lot. I had personal adversity, and everything that I did to ensure that I didn't go under is in that book. So that book is a mixture of personal experiences and the principles that worked for me, and I know that they will work for you as well. Thank you for this opportunity to talk about my book.
The bit about just trying and trying again. And sometimes we get into this space where we think throw in the towel. So how can we have access to the recalibration book?
Okay, so I'm gonna put in the comments right here the links and the phone number to call. We actually deliver the book nationwide to anybody who wants, and then also is on Amazon. So I'll put the links in the comment.
Okay. And how can we get in touch with anyone? There may be some people that want to get in touch with you to know more about the book or to invite you for a speaking engagement. How can you be reached?
Okay, so my email address is upyouwithezine1@gmail.com. I'll say that again. upyouwithezine1@gmail.com. And on Facebook, I am Ezinne Kufre-Ekanem. So if you want me to speak at your conference, your seminar, your sisterhood fellowships or anything, just send me an email. And then, of course, I do check my DMs.
I like that. Please, could you just put all those in the comment section as well, so it will be easier to reach you. Thank you so much, my darling sister. And please don't hesitate to reach out to her and make sure you grab yourself a copy of the recalibration book. And before we let her go, what will be your final words to anyone out there who is still struggling on the journey of becoming? What will be your final words to the person?
Well, my final word would be, if you're not struggling, then you're not trying to become. Becoming is all about struggling. Because what you're doing is to break out of your comfort zone. And the fact is that everything you're looking for is on the outside of your comfort zone. So don't worry about the struggling, the pain, it's the teething pains. When you finally find that which you seek, you become an eagle, and then you begin to glide. One thing I would like everyone to take away tonight is Becoming is a transformative journey. It's a marathon. It is not, you don't start it now and become in 1 year. No, because there are levels to even becoming. And so you're going to have to sit under many teachers and learn many things over a lot of years before you can even think of becoming a master at something. I'm still becoming. My sister, my host tonight, is still becoming. We're all going to keep becoming until we all go home to heaven. So please do take the pains as part of the process. And then say to yourself, let the pains be what will remind you that you're doing something right. Do not look at pain as something that is telling you that you're not progressing, you're not doing something. No, let the pain remind you that you're doing something right. And then you sit down with yourself and ask yourself, so how can I keep becoming? One thing I do all the time is I keep questioning myself. I keep questioning my why. And that's why it's easy for me to show up in season and out of season. If the roof likes, let it fall down. If I'm supposed to show up, I'll show up. Because I question my why. And I want you, my sisters, tonight to always question your why. Why am I doing this? Why? Is it for the fame? Why? Is it because I really want to help others? Why? Why do I want to help them? What is the need for me? Why? Keep questioning your why. And then one day you will just come like this. Why? And aha, you get it. Clarity. The one that you say, I know that I know that I know my reason for being. And I know that I know that I know that this is why God put me here. I know that I know that I know that this is my assignment. When you get to that point, trust me, you are becoming. Thank you very much, everyone. I enjoyed being on this platform today. Thank you for welcoming me. I'm looking forward to your conference. And by the grace of God, I hope that it will be a hybrid so that those of us who cannot come down to Enugu can join virtually.
We're working on that. Thank you so much for such powerful nuggets. Understanding your why. I keep saying this until you get to the point where you know your why with deep conviction, it's difficult to move forward. Because at every time you meet a barrier, you meet a stumbling block. Your why is what enables you to surmount those barriers. So if you're at that point where you are still, confused, struggle to understand your why. And understanding your why is not just a one-off process. At every level of your becoming, you need to understand your why. Every level of becoming, you need to understand your why. Your why at level A may be different from your why at level B because you're evolving. Every day you evolve into the better to become the best version of yourself. So make life learning part of your value system, part of your system. So to join us at the She Speaks Summit 24. The summit is right in the comment section as well. And remember, take care of yourself. Yourself. And when you know yourself more, you get to love yourself. I think that's a piece of book you throughout this weekend. And I look forward to seeing you next week, Friday. Thank you so much, darling sis Ezinne. I hope to bring you on board sometime again on the show. Thank you for making our time.
Thank you, everyone. God bless you. Good
Bye
night.
for now.
Bye.
See you next.
Oh, yeah, it's a Friday.